Good evening. You're welcome to State of Affairs. I apologize, but this time not for the late starts, but we have changed the time for State of Affairs. Going forward, it would air at 9 p.m. and not 8:30 p.m. as I earlier announced, and so I'm sorry for announcing the wrong time for State of Affairs. So keep that in mind. It starts at 9 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, not 8:30 p.m. like it used to. So now that we have an understanding, let's move on to the issue at hand today. Today on the program, we want to discuss the Gambian killings, particularly about the 44 Ghanaians believed to have been massacred by Gambian security operatives sometime in 2005. It's been 14 years. The journey to bring Yahyah Jammeh, former president of the Gambia, to justice has not yielded the desired fruits yet. We want to find out what stage of the journey we've got to. Would also want to remind ourselves of the harrowing ordeal of these persons, and we have in studio with us a survivor of the incident that took place sometime in 2005. Now, before we meet my guest tonight, let me just remind you of this very interesting deal with Bayport. Well, I'll do that later. Unfortunately, my tablet will not respond, but I'll be right back. Stay with me. Welcome back. This is State of Affairs. I'll tell you about Bayport a little later on the program, I promise. Right now, let's meet our guest. To my far right is William Nyarko. He's Executive Director for the Africa Center for International Law and Accountability, and he's also coordinator for the Jammeh to Justice campaign. And next to me is Martin Kyere, the sole survivor of the Gambian massacre in 2005, which saw the killing of some 44 Ghanaians. You're welcome once again to the program.
Thank you.
And I know we started with you on news tonight. Perhaps we should again, for the purpose of those who did not watch you back then. So your story is that you were in Senegal, but here's where I want you to start from how you got to Senegal. Why did you go to Senegal?
Thank you once again. I was living in Brekum, because that's my hometown, and you know that's where I completed SS Presbyterian Secondary School in 99.
Right.
Yes. So I decided to embark on journey where it's usually common in said part of Ghana, which is people traveling through Libya, Morocco, and other parts to see greener pastures and all those things. So it's not something new at a part of country. So every boy, want to be in that situation to better his life. And I also want to be in Europe. So I decided to go by Senegal. So early 2005, I gone alone. I set off, passed through Mali to Kidra. Kidra is the border town of Senegal. The just route I use Burkina to Mali, Bamako to Kidra, Kidra to Dakar. As I stayed Dakar early 2005.
Okay, so how long were you in Dakar for?
5 months.
5 months before you met this person promising to take you to Europe via the sea. What's the story there?
One morning we are in the house, and a certain man came in with some Ghanaians and other guys, and they mentioned his name to us, called Charles Taylor.
Okay.
Claiming to be a black American, showing his passport, and also documents indicate that he's a vessel captain. So he's competent enough to send people through Europe. So if we are interested, we can, put our names on board. So when the time comes for him to send people to Europe, then we can be part of that journey. We show interest, but one thing is that we don't want to give the money to the man.
Okay.
Because that is what people used to do. They collect the money, they take you to the sea.
And then you're duped.
Yes. So the man decided to go for money from elsewhere, do his own preparation. So when you get into the vessel, then you pay.
Okay.
Yes, after some days, then you pay.
Right. So you met Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor promised to take you abroad to Europe. Let me put it that way, because at that moment you were abroad.
Sure.
So Charles Taylor decided to take you,
to Europe.
appeal to you,
sure,
that he will take you to Europe, and then you pay. You agreed, but Charles Taylor didn't turn up.
Charles Taylor was around, but he did not find money in Senegal.
Okay.
So he decided to proceed to Gambia to look for money from a guy whose name is Lamini Tunkara. So Lamini decided to give the money to Charles Taylor.
Okay.
But before he give the money, he must return the vessel to Gambia, because he also have some passengers in Gambia, so that his passengers can join the vessel also.
So hold on. How did you know that Charles Taylor was ready for you to get aboard the vessel to go to the Gambia, to go to Europe?
You know, the vessel was at first at Senegal.
Okay.
So those who are mature at that time, they go to the port and visit the vessel to see that, yes, the vessel is strong enough so that can send the people to Europe, but they are not ready to pay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you were waiting for him in Senegal and you never heard from him?
Yeah, so he proceeded to Gambia and make communication.
Oh, good. Okay. And what was this communication he made to you?
Not actually me, but the leaders at that time, because there is some of guys who are matured more than me. At that time I was a young boy, you know. So he said he will send us to Europe, and he's ready, because Lamini Tunkara has already given him money. He buy fuel, they call it bunkling. He just take bunkling, everything. So he's ready for the journey to take off. So we must join the vessel. Before we join the vessel, we must put ourselves together. And they find a place called Sali. It's around Mbu district, close to the sea. So we gathered there, and we are 56 in number. So they proceed to Mbu to find a big canoe that can carry us to join the vessel, because the vessel cannot come to the beach.
Okay.
The vessel is a big vessel. It's always at the sea.
Okay, so at this time, this vessel, was it in the Gambian waters?
It's in the Gambian waters right now.
Okay, it was in Gambian waters.
Right now, it has moved to Gambian waters.
Okay.
So we are going to join the vessel.
Right.
The communication is in tight. Everything is going
good. Good.
Yeah. So we leave at Sali at the evening, Friday evening. So the time we leave, there was a communication between the guys in the canoe and the captain. He said, "Oh, everything is ready. I'm waiting for you." So we get to a point that there is no communication. We find it difficult to communicate to the captain. And when you go to the sea in the night, you see there is a lot of fishing boats. They are doing a lot of fishings. So you find it difficult to locate your boat. You know, by that time they will just give some indicators that I will not lie to show to many people, because they will just, okay, show blue light. This is the blue light. Show the red light. This is the red light. Show the other light. Then you can indicate that this is my vessel.
I see.
So you go, because there is a light at the top.
So what was the light for the vessel you were supposed to get on?
No, when you get to the sea and you are looking for your vessel, you communicate to the captain in the vessel. And
that is when you are told the color of light that you see.
Yes, you say, show the red light, then you show the red light.
Right.
Show the blue light, then you show the blue light. You say,
right.
This is the vessel. Right. I must go direct to the vessel.
So what happened while you were there? Were you able to communicate?
No. The time we get to the sea, we find it difficult to locate the captain, communicate to the captain, because the network we are using this time was a Senegal chip, and now we are in the Gambia waters.
Right.
So we find it difficult to locate unless we have Gambia communication chip. That's why before we can communicate to the captain. So we find out there is a light ahead there. In front there is a light. So let's proceed and find out. And those fishermen around us, they say, oh, this is Gambia. So if it's Gambia, let's go to Gambia and make proper communication.
Right.
So early in the morning, around 5:30 to 6, we found ourselves at the Gambia beach, which is close to the Gambia harbor, that is Gambia port. Yes. So 6 of our guys decide to enter Banjul to have a chip so that we can have proper communication with the captain.
That was the sole reason you entered Banjul.
That's right.
Okay.
So Immediately they get down from the canoe, the Navy was around, and we heard a gunshot. In fact, we are in the canoe, and we heard a gunshot, and the guys at the top shouted, "They have been killed! They have been killed!
Right.
They have been killed!" So the canoe guys returned the canoe to the sea again. And when you look off at the top there is a beach there, because when you stand in the Banjul, there is a River Gambia. After River Gambia, there is a Barra town there. The Barra town is a village. So the canoe guys say, "Okay, let's go and put you at the Barra beach, because the contract is 1 night. We want our canoe back to Senegal." And because we are going to Europe, we are not ready to go back to Senegal.
Right.
So the canoe guys left with their canoe. And we sent another 3 guys to Barra town. Now we are not in Banjul, we are in Barra town. So the 3 guys returned and said, "Okay, captain said you haven't heard from any of the guys, the 6 guys.
Who had left earlier.
Early in the morning." So supposedly, they must be arrested or they have been in the hands of police. So he will send Lamine, his agent, to go round from police station to police station if he can find them and grant them bail, so that at the evening time, they can join us so that we can all move together. Where we are, there is a canoe ahead. So we can find a canoe, and there is a village that he mentioned the name to the guys. Can go there and rest so that even we can join the vessel. The process of finding canoe, they get to a guy whose brother was a policeman at the Barra town. So he reported through his brother that there is a strangers, the visitors at the sea, the beach there, and they said they want a canoe. So the policeman disguised himself and arrest the 3 guys.
Right. I'll come back to you, but just clarify this for me. How many were you at the time of set-off?
56.
56.
Sure.
And 6 left the very early morning when you got to
Sure.
the waters of the Gambia.
Sure.
And then 3 left later that evening.
Later.
So you had lost about 9 of your people already.
9.
So you were 47?
Now 47.
How many Ghanaians were part of the entire 56?
We have 10 Nigerians.
Right.
We have 2 Senegalese. We have 1 Congolese. We have Togolese. Yes, I think we have a lady from Cote d'Ivoire also.
And then the remaining number
Is
from Ghana. We'll do the math and then we'll talk about it. But so you've got to the point where now you are in the Gambia. 3 have gone to look for the other 6. They couldn't find them.
Sure.
And so the captain's assistant goes to look for them.
The time we sent for canoe, in the later around 6 p.m., we found there is canoe heading towards where we are. And canoe is about medium size, 3 canoe. And we found Victor in the canoe. So supposedly the canoe we sent for is arrived. So we did not wait for canoe to get to the beach. We just joined the canoe.
Okay.
So later we found out Kuti.
Okay.
We have been arrested. Okay, if we have been arrested, it's police. So they sent us to Barra Town Police Station. At that time, we get there and meet the 3 guys, because the canoe came with only Victor. And the 2 guys was detained at the Barra Town Police Station. And now we are now 50 again at the Barra Town Police Station.
Okay.
So they came in for 30 and we left 20. Before they came in for the 30, our names has been put down. Passport and ID cards has been presented. So the 30 left around 9 p.m. They came for the rest 20. From Barra Town to Banjul, they used ferry to cross the River Gambia. But this time, we used Navy boats. So a lot of soldiers, a lot of police are coming in at that time. So they put us in the vessel. We crossed to Banjul, and we found the first 30. They have been loosed up. They have been tied at the back. They have been well beaten up. And even you find it difficult to identify who this guy is.
Wow.
Yes, some of them have lost their front teeth. Some of them, there is a blood everywhere.
At that time, you had not been beaten yet.
Then this is the time we are going to join them.
You're going to join the point where you get beaten.
Yes.
So what was your experience with the beating?
The time we are in the vessel, they started beating us in the vessel. But we thought it's a normal in Africa here, because when we catch your friend, even Cote d'Ivoire, you just cross the border and you catch your friend, you see him as somebody who come from Mars. You see? You just catch an African, your own brother, he speaks English, he's beating him like a dwarf, you know, beating everywhere. But we know it's our character, so beating your neighbor is something we used to do. So you didn't go through the right channel, and you have been caught, so you have been beaten.
So when did the killing begin, or when did you realize that when people leave you, they don't come back?
You see, this time we are not thinking about killings, because we are thinking about beatings. We are not thinking, because we don't know, we haven't done anything that we deserve to be killed. You see, so we are not thinking about any killings here. So immediately you come down from the vessel, you meet a soldier with a calabash hat, a big talisman up here, a horn up, long cutlass. So when you come down from the vessel, you put the cutlass at your chest here, just tear your shirt, take off your trousers, take off your money, and sit down.
Right.
You see? So later they brought in soldier bus and said, join the bus. The first 30 has been tied, and we the 20 haven't been tied. So we joined the bus, and the beatings continue in the bus.
Okay.
So we get to a first police station, which is Buntum police station. Then you get down. So I get down at the Buntum police station, and they left with the 40. So later in the night, they came for 2 of our guys, and they brought in Lamini. So early in next day morning, they came for our statements, fingerprint, and passport pictures.
At this point, the 2 who left you the nights before had not come back?
No, we think they have been put in another
cell.
Yes. We are not thinking about, because the cells was very small. It's like from here to just very small. And we are just standing, we are not sleeping, we are just standing in the cells. So we think that because of the overcrowded, they just want to reduce the crowd.
I see.
Yes. So it was next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, newspaper reported Tuesday.
At this point, how long had you been in the...
He was arrested on Saturday.
On a Saturday?
Saturday.
Okay.
Sunday, Monday. So early Monday, they start working, and the newspaper reported, Foya newspaper, 50 foreigners has been arrested, because he gets everything correct, the number, from the Baratown police station. 50 foreigners. They don't know the 6. At this time, they don't know the first 6. You see? So they reported 50 foreigners has been arrested. 8 dead bodies has been found. But we don't know that these dead bodies is our colleagues, because we thought we are in the hands of police.
Right. So let's fast forward to when the numbers started to reduce and you had to escape.
We don't know that the numbers are reducing, because in your cells, you don't know what is going on as well.
I agree.
Yes. So we spent 1 week in our cells. If you ask the police, you say, okay, your hands is in the hands of authorities, and they are dealing with it. So we are waiting for our bail or our release. We don't know what's going on as well. And they always see how they go around with one guy called Victor. When you ask him, he says, okay, we are going to release tomorrow, today.
But it never happened.
1 week.
We'll talk about your escape in a moment. Let me go to a lawyer now. And William, we did send a fact-finding mission to the Gambia to find out what happened to these Ghanaians who were embarking on that journey but found themselves in the Gambia. What did the report say?
So this unfortunate event happened in July 2005.
Right.
And when the report about the killings came out, then under President Kufuor, he sent then Foreign Minister, who is now our President, Nanado, to the Gambia to find out what was going on. So they went and even went as far as to the police stations, and I did read in the report that through the intervention of, then Foreign Minister, some people were released from the police station. It would appear from the report that Ghana and the Gambia wanted to establish a joint investigation. Ghana could not just go to the Gambia and, surreptitiously go and undertake an investigation. So they wanted to do a joint investigation. The team left, and then they had to go back again the following year, I think January or through March. That time they went through Senegal. The Gambians said they should start the investigation from Senegal because that's where the migrants started from. When you read the report, you get the sense that the Gambians refused to cooperate after some time. And therefore, the Ghanaian investigative side was frustrated.
Right. So prior to the second trip, the Gambians gave what they thought or who they thought caused the deaths of these migrants. We'll talk about that when we come back. Stay with us.
Mr. also has a problem with his radio.
Mission time!
My big brother always stealing my cowbell coconut milk power cable. Check. Circuit board. Check.
Hanger, cowbell, mug. Check. Radio. Check.
More flavors are better than one. Cowbell is fortified with protein, mineral, vitamin A, C, D, E, and K to help you complete the mission. Cowbell comes in coconut, strawberry, choco malt, and Mr. Owusu's favorite, mocha. There's something for everyone.
Mission accomplished.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
I don't cry, baby.
Wonto Emma Nipa on the Enfie Edunwo and Sese Apin for Eno. We see you. And you. Ooh, and you too, Mr. Romantic. We see you and the wonderful things you're doing. You just want to make it in life, and we are here just for that. For over 15 years in 53 locations in Ghana and present in 9 other countries across the world, we've given over 1 billion Ghana cedis to more than 400,000 Ghanaian workers and businesses just like you, helping them to build their dreams. So go on, go ahead and do the things that make you happy. Make memories, create businesses, get paid, and live free. Because we will be here watching you. We are Bayport. Bayport Savings and Loans. Your future now.
Ghana card no, and you're more than just a means of identification. We are patriotic there. It's going to open up a new world of secure transactions and benefits for all Ghanaians. As an electronic ID, the new Ghana card even allows you to travel within the ECOWAS sub-region without your regular passport.
To register, you have to provide your name, date and place of birth, your residential address, your digital address code, and the name of your parents or legal guardians. Note, you also need either a birth certificate or a valid Ghanaian passport. But if you don't have any of the required documents, don't worry. A relative or 2 members of your community who have registered and have their Ghana card can vouch for you under oath.
Your Ghana card will be the only acceptable ID for all transactions which require you to prove your identity. And beware, providing false information will lead to your arrest and prosecution.
It's a new era of connectivity, access, and progress for all.
Memubia Nadao. Register for your Ghana card now. One nation, one Ghana card.
Welcome aboard, and thanks for riding with Uber. Before we depart, we kindly ask you to please fasten your seatbelt.
During your ride, please keep your mobile phone switched on at all times so you can follow your trip and find out all about your driver. Before someone can become a driver partner, they must pass all required checks. There are 4 exits in this vehicle, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. For your added safety, you can share your live location and let your loved ones know where you are. The driving hours feature prevents drivers from driving too long with us. And to help ensure your driver matches the one we have on file, we've introduced real-time ID checks. Now, let's take a moment to review the safety toolkit, which you can open by tapping the shield icon on your home screen. From all the crew here at Uber, have a safe trip and be sure we're already working on new safety features because we believe safety never stops.
Akoto loves his family. He works hard to take care of them. So Ifya, his young daughter, can become the doctor she's always dreamt of. And Akosia, his lovely wife, can open the nursery school she talks about all the time. He can see a happy, relaxed retirement in the years to come. But life can get in the way of our dreams. Unable to work, how do their dreams come to pass? Don't let life's tragedies get in the way of your family's dreams. Get a life insurance policy from Star Life today. Star Life, your solid partner for life.
More and more people are using MTN mobile money in their everyday lives. Hear that? She just paid her kids' school fees. She just paid for her lunch. And this man just paid his tithe. And this guy just paid for his shoes. No. You just send money to the old lady again, eh? Very necessary. It's like money in your pocket. Keep up with the times. Got a payment to make? Just Momo it. It's that simple, secure, and convenient.
Welcome to the sound of better money.
Good day for you, everywhere you go.
Thank you very much for staying with us here on State of Affairs. Tonight we are discussing the killing of 44 Ghanaians in the Gambia. We have a sole survivor of that incident here with me in the studio. We also have coordinator for the Jammeh to Justice campaign. He's been working the last 14 years to bring Yahyah Jammeh to justice as far as the killing of these migrants is concerned. We've heard part of the story. We'll also hear how Martin Kyere escaped the killings in a moment. But I want us to talk about the report. Just before then, you should know that a safe and easy way to access a loan using your car is here, and it's the Bayport Car Title Loan. If you own a car, you can use it to get a loan of up to 25,000 cash from Bayport and still drive it. Plus, if you aspire to buy a car, Bayport is ready to partner with you to drive off in that dream car. Yes, a Bayport Car Title Loan can help you pay up to 40% of the car value so you become a car owner. The best part of this is you do not even have to be a salaried worker. Get to enjoy very low interest rates and have your loan processed within 24 hours. With Bayport's Car Title Loan, you are sorted. Visit a branch today or call us on 0302 745454, 0302 429 120, or if you'd want to reach us on cell, is 0577 679 105. Bayport, your future is now. Now let's talk about the extrajudicial killings. And William, I was saying before we went on the break that during the first engagement with Gambian authorities, they dissociated from the event.
Yes, so when the Ghanaian team, led by Nanado then, met with the Gambian president in August, the president, Yahyah Jammeh, denied any state involvement.
Right.
And they would have a joint investigation. But during the first visit, the Ghana delegation actually went to some of the police stations. And from the report, 2 Ghanaians who had been detained for more than 10 days were released at the instance of President, then Foreign Minister, that they had been held for too long without putting them before court. So the report said that 2 Ghanaians were actually released at his instance, and they were to return. But this time, the fact-finding team actually then had real investigators, also, then CID boss, Mr. Pietu, who is now the IGP.
Right.
So he was part of the delegation. There were others from the foreign ministry as well who were part. At the second time that they were going, they had expected that they would start from the Gambia. But the Gambians said, no, we want you to go and start from Senegal,
right.
where they started
let us talk about that in a moment. But also, I think during the very first visit, after the 2 people, there was another police station where after a lot of prodding, the commander of that station did admit that there were 3 Ghanaians there, but they did not know where they were.
Yes. He admitted, during the interview that the 2 other Ghanaians were interviewed, but they couldn't find them. That area, that's Ghana Town, where there's typically a Ghanaian community, lots of Ghanaians. And I think that the imam there was also interviewed. And he said that he had seen the Ghanaians, but he didn't know his whereabouts.
Right. There was also a bit where the Gambian authorities described the men or the migrants they had in their, or we were talking about at that time, that were being spoken about at that time, as mercenaries. Now, how much of that could be true, at that time? Given the, the very politically unhealthy situation within that area. In 2005, we had the Liberia on one hand, Senegal itself, and then the Gambia.
So one account which has been corroborated by some of the people who were involved in the killings was that Gambian intelligence said that they had picked up information that there will be mercenaries who will be coming from the Senegal side into Gambia. Senegal and the Gambia, Casamance area, there's always been these incursions that have been going on. And significantly, this was almost close to the 10-year anniversary that Yahyah Jammeh came to power.
Right.
So they were laying wait for the so-called mercenaries, who happened to be these unfortunate 56 migrants. In fact, one of the police officers who arrested the migrants said that they had the information. Pajalo, who's now retired, said that they had that information, but when he arrested the migrants, he saw that these were not mercenaries, that some of them were, even they weren't wearing shirts, A mercenary would look like Rambo style, right? And so he then handed them over, the paramilitary group, as Martin narrates, the soldier with the horn and all of that. Those people were the junglers. That's the elite paramilitary unit that reported directly. So it makes sense that when they took custody of them, that when they saw that these guys were just migrants, they should have let them go. And you would think that when they gave the migrants to the police, were going to protect them. And indeed, as he said, they went to the police station, they separated them, and from the accounts of some of the junglers who took part in the killings, they separated them, and they would come for them in batches and went and executed them. In fact, one of the paramilitary people said that they buried them in a well close to the Senegal region. So all accounts from both Ghana's fact-finding mission and from the migrants itself, those who left, show that the number is 56. They left Salimbo in Senegal. The investigators went to the house in Senegal, Salimbo, where the migrants had been waiting to connect. So the number 56 is not in doubt, okay? Including the 44, probably 44 Ghanaians. 8 bodies were eventually brought to Ghana. So the 36, the math is correct, where are the 36 Ghanaians? Part of the 36 Ghanaians are presumably buried in the well,
in that well.
Close to the Senegal border. At the time, all of this took some time, 2005, and then it kept going. Ghana and Gambia, where relations became sour between, when President Mills took over. All of this had been bottling up, and eventually, when they got ECOWAS and the AU, UN to do their own fact-finding, and they came out with an inconclusive finding.
Did we ever look into this well to find out if would uncover what could be for lack of a better description, a mass grave?
It is something that I think the border town where the wells that they said that the Ghanaians and the migrants were buried, it is a place that we need to go and find out. There is the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission currently going on in the Gambia. It has the mandate to look into human rights violations from 1994 to January 2017 when Yahyah Jammeh left office. So that is the Yahyah Jammeh period. That commission can look into this matter. And that's one of the ways in which the Ghana government...
I'll let us come back to the commission in a bit. So let's just take a few steps back. So during the second visit, when the Ghana side of investigators should have been working with the Gambian side, unfortunately, the Gambian side started dragging its feet and decided that we should go and start the investigations from Senegal. What was their reason?
The Gambians said that that's where the migrants started their journey, and so they should go to Senegal. And so the Ghana investigative team went to Senegal and established, from the report they established that indeed the migrants left Salimbo. They established the number, it's 56. So they established a number of what they were supposed to do. But then, of course, after that, when you are not getting cooperation from that other state, it becomes difficult. Because when you are operating as a state, you can't just go into another country and go and do an investigation. There's a limit to what you can do. That's why they wanted the joint.
Right. So does it mean that when that 2006 investigation failed, our efforts then were also completely stalled, so much so that we didn't do anything between 2006 till Professor Atta Mills came back into office?
So certain actions were continuing at the government diplomatic level as well. And when President, and then from 2007 into election, there was a change of administration.
Indeed.
But the point really is that successive governments, either under the MPP administration or the NDC administration, they kept on with this matter. And you remember that in 2008, the ECOWAS and the UN had a fact-finding. So, okay, if this is not working, in 2008, they did an investigation. This time, they took it over and did what was supposed to be an impartial investigation by regional bodies instead of Ghanaians.
How was their investigation different from what the 2006 investigators had found?
They had access to and cooperation all through. But at the end of the day, here was a certain president whom information had gone out that knew or ought to have known that these killings occurred. And so what the UN and ECOWAS investigation came out with, and we haven't seen the full report. We have seen snippets. In fact, the conclusive part, which essentially said that those who took part in the killings were not agents of state. They might have been rogue elements.
We're hearing it again.
Yeah, rogue elements who acted on their own. That conclusion was significant because if agents of state, like the police, like the military, were the ones who did the killing, the principle of state responsibility attaches to the state. So it's like agent principal thing. Right? What you do attaches to the principal. So with that, Jammeh said, we were not responsible. But even there, I thought that ECOWAS and AU could have pinned the Gambia down a lot more than they did, because these killings occurred in the territory of the state. So the state is responsible.
Right. I want us to come back to the bit about rogue elements undertaking what happened or doing what the killing. Let me put it that way straight. Rogue elements doing the killing. But let me come back to you, Martin. So at this point, you don't know some of your friends had died.
No.
But you came close to getting killed.
Yes.
Narrate that.
You see, at the police station, they came for us in the night. They brought a big car that they used to carry prison inmates, and they sent us to uncompleted building where our bags has been kept, and the police are around with guns. They told us, go and sleep. So one man, one police. And later they go for the rest of our guys. And at that time, we are, I think, 8, 5, 13. We left 13. So about 30 minutes time, a car came in, white pickup. And they opened the gate, the hall gate. The soldier stepped in with the beers, with the guns and the bullets around him, and the black hats on his head. He said, you people must go and dress. We are going to release you. So the officer came in with white shirt, a long cutlass, and that time the 3 soldiers armed, and the officer with only the cutlass. So when you go into your bag, you pick your clothes and well, they came for us one by one. They send you to the compound and they take you off. They take your shirt again. So whoever inside don't know what is going on outside there. So the first 4 was tied by a wire, a rope, a wire. And later they used the rest of the wire to tie their necks, and they send it back to their hand. So whilst you are in the pickup, you are looking up, your neck has been tied and sent it back to your hand. So the first 4 has been tied, and they came for the rest 4, and we have been tied again. But our rope is somehow short, so they didn't use on our neck. So they put us on the white pickup, and they say, we are going to release you. If you don't want to die, don't jump from this pickup, okay? I say, yes, sir. And this time, including Lamini, the agent, the Gambian. So we take the north direction from Banjul. While we are going, one Nigerian was praying, who is that? They stopped the car and they used the cutlass at his backbone here. They just cut it one time. And his backbone opened and the blood started flowing. So the guy is just bluffing and he just recited Allahu Akbar in the car. So we take the untied road.
So that person bled to death?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So we take the untied road where the car knocked a sheep at a certain small village, and they brought the sheep in. You are going to travel with the sheep tonight, okay? I said, yes. I said, the other guy said, you see, a dead sheep, you are going to travel with a dead sheep. That means they are going to kill you. And we are praying for survival. We are praying for life. We are praying for next day. Around 2 a.m., and you are praying for next day. So we take a bush road, the forest, the pickup fan his way through the forest. We get a point where there is a valley down there. The soldiers stopped, 2 of them came back, they take off our bags and everything. They send it to the valley. And one man is complaining. His name is Yahyah Jammeh. He's complaining about his hand because we are all eye on him. The officer came in with the cutlass and used the cutlass at his hand here, and he just cut it one time. And the hand was nearly fell. It's very small. And he asked him, which one is more painful? So this man was already lost all his teeth. Yes, so it's like we are going to die. So they came back from the valley. They just decided to take us into the forest. And this time everybody was trying to do something. If you can get your hand off from the rope or wire. So I tried, and I was able to take my hand off from the wire. And I tell the guys, my hand is no more in the wire. And it's okay, it's God who wants to save you. And it's like, if you go, they'll kill us fast. And others say, go. And they say, if you go, they'll kill us fast. So when the pickup was about to stop, I jumped from the pickup to the forest, and I heard at my back, "Who is that?" I did not look back because the officer in the front was not holding the gun, and the driver also was driving. They are not fast enough to.
Right.
Yeah. So I was able to give some steps. So the two guys, because the pickup was a double decker, so before you can get off, they need to push the first seat before the rest can. So the time they come down from the pickup, I'll give the step, and the gunshot follows. People is shooting everywhere. But I was tied by a rope and I was down. So the bullet passes over me. And they take another direction. They shoot there. And I wake myself up. First, second, third step. I heard a crowd from back there. Already Gio, already Gio, already. And gun falls shoulders. Pepe. And I stopped and I said, these people have been killed. I don't know that I'm just close to the road. So the pickup returned top speed and they take the right direction and also take the left direction in the forest. It's around 3 a.m.
Right.
So I jumped and ran harder and cried. So when it's getting to morning, I decided not to get to any town, but rather hide myself in the forest.
So how long were you in the forest
I spent 4 days.
How were you surviving
this time,
4 days in the forest?
This time it's not about matter of eating, but that forest is full of that coconut, the red one. The red one, when you go to Techimana and other places, they're full of Makubi, the red one.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So it's full of, the forest is full of that fruit and other small. So I spent 4 days there. In fact, I was already being in cells for 1 week. So the time I crossed the border to Casamas, the first people who saw me, they are just running away because I was hurt a lot.
Right.
So I crossed the forest.
From all the torture?
Yes. So I crossed the forest. It was a forest to the other side where they cultivate groundnuts. So the farmers, they just ran away. And the men approached and they hand me to the village and they give me cow milk and groundnut soup. They asked me, and later...
I'd ask you how you found your way back home or back to Senegal, whichever way you went. But tell me, when you remember your ordeal, what are the faces you see?
You know, it's like I don't think I can remember this. I can forget this thing throughout the time I'm spending in this health.
So whose faces do you see when you remember your journey from Senegal through the time when you were tortured and you were not seeing the people anymore?
I think the 8 guys that within ourselves, because we used to pray together, and we moved together to the uncompleted building. Why, and a guy called Kwaju, he's from Techiman. The guy cried. He was I think 19, 20 years. In fact, we are all going to be killed. But the way the guy cried, oh my God, it was the guy cried to the level that he just don't know what to do.
Did you guys communicate as to where you're coming from, and if anybody survived at all, what message you should tell your relative or something? Did you have that kind of conversation?
Yes. When you travel, you don't lie because you don't know what will happen next day. So everybody just tell the truth. So I come from here. If you go tell my parents I've been killed, if you go tell,
Did you ever find Kojo's parents?
Yes. That guy is Kwame.
Kwame.
Yeah, his mother just heard this message and just about 1 month ago and he passed on.
Now, Kwame, you say, was about 19 to 20.
Yeah.
And what really pushed him? I mean, going back into that time in the cell, what pushed him to the tears that he shed so much?
No, he think he can't do anything to get his life back. If he can do something to get his life, he may do, but he can't do anything, and nobody is ready to listen to him.
Do you also see the faces of the people who tortured you?
No, it's not like somebody you elected for a long time just appear to you in the night and go. So you can't, picture his face throughout the night. But he had the beer and everything. So if we take it of beer, it may be difficult to locate the guy or this guy or this guy. So it's like I remembered. I can't forget this case till the day I'll pass on. Because it's like...
I'll come back. We'll talk about how it has changed you, how you managed to get back to Senegal, or how come you're here with us? But William, well, my producer tells me we should go on a break, but I wanted us to look at a bit about the campaign and events that took place also when the 8 people were brought back to the country for burial. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Ways of fighting mosquitoes? Discover the new Raid Day and Night. 3 sprays on 1 poster for 24-hour mosquito protection for the whole family. The future of mosquito protection. Raid Day and Night. It's good to be tough.
Win your share of 1 million cedis. Buy a limited edition Guinness. Text the code under the Concord to 1759 and you could be one of 88,000 weekly winners. Guinness, made of more. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Akoto loves his family. He works hard to take care of them. So Ifya, his young daughter, can become the doctor she's always dreamt of. And Akosia, his lovely wife, can open the nursery school she talks about all the time. He can see a happy, relaxed retirement in the years to come. But life can get in the way of our dreams. Unable to work, how do your dreams come to pass? Don't let life's tragedies get in the way of your family's dreams. Get a life insurance policy from Star Life today. Star Life, your solid partner for life.
Lowly Mr. also has a problem with his radio.
Mission time!
My big brother always stealing my cowbell coconut milk power cable. Check.
Circuit board, check. Hanger, cowbell, mug, check. Radio, check.
More flavors are better than one. Cowbell is fortified with protein, mineral, vitamin A, C, D, E, and K to help you complete the mission. Cowbell comes in coconut, strawberry, choco malt, and Mr. Owusu's favorite, mocha. There's something for everyone.
Mission accomplished.
We see you. And you. Ooh, and you too, Mr. Romantic. We see you and the wonderful things you're doing. You just want to make it in life, and we are here just for that. For over 15 years in 53 locations in Ghana and present in 9 other countries across the world, we've given over 1 billion Ghana cedis to more than 400,000 Ghanaian workers and businesses just like you, helping them to build their dreams. So go on, go ahead and do the things that make you happy. Make memories, create businesses, get paid, and live free. Because we will be here watching you. We are Bayport. Bayport Savings and Loans. Your future now.
Welcome back. This is the final leg of the program tonight, and we've been discussing the extrajudicial killings that occurred in the Gambia. Some 44 Ghanaians were murdered in that, and we've been reminding ourselves of the very harrowing ordeal. Martin Kyere is a sole survivor, and he's here with us in the studio. But first, I'd like to recommend cowbell milk for you and your family's daily nutritional requirements. The family's future is bright with cowbell, trusted in Ghana for 20 years. Cowbell has something for everyone: cowbell coffee, cowbell strawberry, cowbell choco, cowbell banana, mocha, and coconut. Try any of our flavors to enjoy the finest taste in milk. Cowbell, our milk. I have very little time, and I'll try and split it between William, who is campaign. He's coordinator for the Jammeh Justice Campaign, and Martin Kyere, who is sole survivor. I want him to tell us what happened after he managed to escape. He managed to escape those people who, as we know now, would have killed him. But lawyer, perhaps I should wrap it up with you, then come to Martin here. So, what now? 14 years down the line, nothing appears to have happened. We know that when the 8 were brought in for burial here, some $500,000 Yahyah Jammeh gave. He appeared to have compensated for the situation in their books. What now?
So in 2009, when the Memorandum of Understanding was signed between Ghana and the Gambia, the two countries also pledged that they would look for the actual perpetrators of the crime. $500,000 was paid. It could not have been compensation because compensation suggests wrongdoing, but it was to help with the burial expenses in Gambia. So then things went quiet until last year, when through investigations together with some of our partners, Human Rights Watch and Try International, and along with the statements given by some of the people who took part in the killings, the junglers, much of which is even publicly available, that we found that indeed when the killings were occurring, the junglers had direct orders from Jammeh, and they undertook the killing. That's a game changer. So the campaign has become renewed because we have new facts pointing to complicity of Jammeh. And therefore, we have to bring Jammeh and those who bear the greatest responsibility.
What's the possibility? How feasible is it that Yahyah Jammeh would be brought to Ghana to face what he did?
So first of all, I mean, under territorial jurisdiction, this happened in the Gambia. So the first forum is the Gambia.
Right.
And Truth and Reconciliation Commission is ongoing. They have a mandate to investigate human rights abuses, including enforced disappearances, unlawful killings, and torture. All of these crimes, potentially, that we think Yahyah Jammeh should be brought to account for those charges, because the Ghanaians were killed in an unlawful manner. Some suffered torture. Torture is still continuing on the families since they don't know. And then there's enforced disappearance. But as we know, the Gambian situation, there's the political security situation is not yet where it needs to be able to bring Jammeh to trial. And of course, even though you're looking for justice for victims, you also want to ensure that perpetrators have right to a fair trial. So the legal infrastructure in the Gambia is not where it needs to be to even guarantee Yahyah Jammeh fair trial.
Someone will be asking, why not the ICC?
So the ICC is not the forum for this one, because ICC has crimes against humanity, war crimes, definitely not war crimes. There was no war. Genocide, definitely not genocide, because people were different nationals. And of course the crime of aggression, for example, which doesn't fall in. So the ICC is out. But significantly, we want an African solution to an African problem. And so the Ghana option is viable. We think there is a legal basis for it, for our courts to have jurisdiction over the case. The 3 crimes, potential crimes, murder, torture, and forced disappearances, we have it in our domestic law.
Right, so who are we appealing?
So it is the state. So, it is the state that will prosecute. And so we are appealing to the state to reopen this case. Last year when we did the launch, the government of Ghana said that they were studying the case to look at this legal and international.
And it's been a year already.
It's been a year. So, I mean, we are urging, especially the president, at the time, foreign minister, when it happened, he took steps to go. And so now he has the power. And we urge him to come out. It's been more than a year. And the families need to be contacted. They have not been contacted. The state can actually decide, even if you don't bring Yahyah Jammeh here, the state can actually facilitate for the victims' families and Martin to go to the Gambia and appear before the Truth and Reconciliation
Right.
Operations Commission
Right.
that can also have the power to do that.
I'm afraid we'd have to leave the conversation here, and I feel really bad about it because I wanted to know, Martin, how you survived post the incident. But perhaps we'll do that and put it on our Facebook page subsequently. So for our viewers who've been watching us and know the story now, you can understand how this has affected Martin, who survived the incident. Has your life been the same since then?
It's like, I'm moving on because it's like, I need to put myself together.
Yeah, you have to live.
I have a lot of programs. The families, they all, looking up to me to, work together with CDD, ASLA, International Human Rights Watch, so that we can appeal to government for bringing peace justice for the doorsteps of ordinary Ghanaians.
Very well. Martin and William, thank you very much for your time. We'll definitely do this again sometime soon. But if you have a car and you need a loan, Bayport is the place to go because you can still drive your car and take a loan using it as collateral for up to 25,000 cedis. If you also want to own a new car, Bayport will help you pay 40% of the car. You drive away with your dream car. And if you're interested, you don't have to even be a salaried worker. You can enjoy very low rates with Bayport as your loan is processed within 24 hours. Call Bayport on 0302-745454, 0302-429120, 0577-679-105. Bayport, your future is now. That's how we end tonight's program. And I'm very, very shaken by this, but thank you very much for your company. My name is Keminni Amanor. I'll see you on News Tonight, 6:30 tomorrow evening. Bye-bye.